Hi again, my fellow Stargate Universe fans. It's me again, and as promised, I'm here to make a review of my favorite episodes ever of Season 1. So, we're gonna start with the first one, Episode 1, the pilot, which I really liked. It's called Air Part 1 and 2. I liked it from the beginning. The first scene, I remember the first scene, I was like, okay, first, I'm gonna say I've been a Stargate fan since the first movie actually came out. I was young, yes, but anyway, I liked it. And I have followed the SG-1 and the Atlantis series. And when they cancelled Atlantis, I was a bit sad. But still, it's like, it wasn't my favorite series yet. I liked SG-1 a lot more than I liked Atlantis, so I wasn't really that sad that they cancelled Atlantis. I said, oh, I'm gonna miss McKay, I'm gonna miss Ronan, but okay. And then they said they were going to make a new series, a new parallel series called Universe. I was like, okay, is this gonna be better? Because actually, Atlantis was not better than SG-1. So if they go on like that, it's going to be even worse. I was a bit scared. But I said, okay, I'm going to wait and see. So I waited, and I started hearing things about how Universe was going to be and everything like that. That it would be darker and all that. I was like, okay, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I wasn't sure, so I said, okay, we're still waiting, and we're gonna see it. So, I was a bit anxious, and I sat down with my dad to watch the first episode, and I was like, first image there is Scott, Lieutenant Scott, actually jumping out of the Stargate. And I was like, okay. And then more people jumped out, and more, and it became a bit chaotic. It was like, I was looking at it and I was like, oh my god, where are they coming from, first of all? The scene was interesting. It was really like, what the? I was looking at it and, oh my god, okay, what's going on? And so the episode went on and on and on, and for the first part of episode 1, like part 1 of Air, I was like, okay, maybe they have those flashbacks too often. It was getting, I was getting confused when it was actual events or when it was flashbacks, because they didn't have any clear cuts between the two of them. You had to go with what was going on in the scene to know that it was actually a flashback, and I thought that was a bit confusing. And I have to admit that all the stop, because there's a commercial on the TV, and that didn't help at all. Because when I watched it after that without any, when I watched it on a DVD, it was actually better. Because you don't get all those cuts because of the commercial, so you can follow a little bit more easily. Because all this jumping back and forth was like, okay, after that we have this scene with Eli and with Eli playing the game. I'm like, what a geek. Oh my god, that's me, but without female body. Okay, so I was like, okay, interesting. And then there was all this about the game and how he solved the puzzle, and I was like, oh my god, he's just like me. He's doing the same thing. You solve a puzzle, you need to tell your friends. It's deep inside of you. You need to share the knowledge. It's overwhelming. So I was like, I like that character a lot. And after that, you have the scene with Eli, Rush, and General O'Neill. I was like, okay, it was funny. I was a bit scared at first when I was looking at General O'Neill. I was like, oh my god, he's older, a lot older than I'm used to seeing him. So I was like, MacGyver's yeah, MacGyver had he's getting old, so I was like, okay, but I was a bit uncertain, but anyway, I watched, and then I saw, I heard that Robert Carlyle was gonna be on the TV show. At first I was like, okay, Robert Carlyle in a science fiction series? Don't get me wrong, I like this actor a lot. I've seen him in everything. I mean, I've watched everything that he was in, or almost. He's one of my all-time favorite actors. But I was like, okay, I've seen him in Aragon. I've seen him in other stuff. I don't recall all the names like that. But and there was that one with the full Monty. That I just kept watch. At first, I had trouble watching Rush, and I'd start laughing in my head because I was actually picturing Rush in a scene in the full Monty, and I was laughing alone in my living room. It was a bit crazy, but anyway, I was like, I was a bit unsure. But when I saw the way he's playing the character, I was like, oh my God, I'm totally in love. Okay, no, I'm exaggerating a bit, but anyway, you get my point. But I was watching him and everything like that, and I was like, okay. And the scene with the joke about the beaming him up and everything like that, and they actually do beam him up. I was like, okay, well, that's starting on the right foot for me. And then there was that scene on the spaceship with Eli and Rush, and Eli's watching outside, and he's like, okay, I think I'm gonna call my mom. And Rush tells him like, I'm not sure it's gonna work here. And he's like, oh yeah, right. And then I had to notice the fact that Eli is wearing a red shirt. I was like, okay, is that supposed to be a sign or what? And when I heard David Blue making jokes about the red shirt and how red shirts are usually the first one to die, I was like, I hope not, because he's such a great character. He has so much potential. Please don't kill him yet. We need him, and we like him. He's our geek, our national geek. He is us in a movie. I can just picture myself being in his position and being able to play in Stargate, and wow, it's an orgasm. Total orgasm. And I'm like, okay, please don't kill that character. So it went on, and okay, there was still this back and forth between flashbacks and everything that was a bit confusing. But after the second half, it goes a little bit better, because they get you up to date, and now you know where they are, why they are there, and what happened with the attack by the Lucian Alliance and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's great. I can live with that. It's okay. And then they stop, like, before they get on the plane, the planet, the sand planet, and that was the end of the episode. And all in all, I think it was a good episode. There is that confusing part about the back and forth, and I mean, I don't mind them doing this, but they should have made it more official, less subtle, the jump between the time lapse and everything like that. They should have made it more obvious that it was that the person was remembering something that happened before. They should have made it more obvious. But yes, Kitty wants to be on YouTube. So that's about it. That's the first. That's my review on the first, or a two-parter first episode of Stargate Universe Season 1. And be back soon.